To fuel this level of rapid industrial expansion across the country, you need a massive, uninterrupted supply of reliable electricity. This chart shows the fuel behind that growth. 70% of India's total power generation comes from this single slice of the pie, coal. On paper, the country is uniquely prepared for this demand. India sits on an estimated 360 billion tons of coal, making it the world's fourth largest reserve. Look at this map of the Gondwana region. About 98% of those reserves are concentrated here, in states like Jharkhand, Odisha, and Chhattisgarh. Seeing the physical reality of these open pit mines explains the scale of the wealth. These trucks move thousands of tons to feed the national grid. This massive domestic resource should make India a self-sustaining industrial superpower. Yet, despite having 360 billion tons of its own fuel, India still spends billions of dollars every year importing coal from overseas. These shipping routes track that flow. India relies on a steady stream of foreign coal coming from Indonesia, Australia, and South Africa. It creates an expensive economic friction. The government is paying for complex international supply chains when the exact same mineral is sitting untouched in its own soil. The billions in imports are forced by a specific chemical flaw trapped inside the domestic rock itself. Coal is categorized into distinct grades. They range from the high-carbon anthracite at the top, down through bituminous and lignite, to the low-quality peat at the bottom. Most Indian coal is bituminous or lignite, which suffers from high ash content, incombustible mineral waste trapped inside the rock. When burned, this ash prevents it from reaching high temperatures. It burns inefficiently, produces less heat, and generates mountains of waste. A local power plant can operate on that lower-grade fuel, but heavy industries like steel and cement require the intense, pure heat that only low-ash anthracite can provide. Domestic anthracite is rare, mostly found in small pockets in Jammu and Kashmir. There simply isn't enough of it to support a national manufacturing base. India imports coal because its own reserves physically cannot generate the heat needed to forge steel and build modern cities. To manage the vast domestic supply that powers the electricity grid, the country relies on Coal India Limited. This state-owned giant controls the flow of 80% of the country's coal, extracting over 900 million tons every single year. In Dhanbad, the coal capital, the scale of this machinery is inescapable. Domestic rock is moved around the clock to prevent a national power shortage. Beyond the power grid, Coal India Limited functions as a massive social engine. It provides over 1 million jobs and serves as a top source of royalties for the government. Because the Ministry of Coal directly oversees this production, the corporation acts as a primary tool for administrative stability and national policy. It is a load-bearing pillar of the state itself. Extracting and burning nearly 1 billion tons of low-grade fuel annually carries a heavy price. Burning this much high-ash coal creates a massive environmental footprint, releasing thick plumes of CO2 and smoke that choke the regional skies. The localized impact is just as severe. Communities face land degradation and water pollution, while workers are exposed to the toxic smoke that leads to chronic health issues. The very fuel keeping the economy moving is simultaneously poisoning the people and the land it supports. To fix the sector, the government is moving toward commercial coal block auctions and investing in cleaner coal technologies. These policies are part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, an attempt to squeeze more efficiency from domestic rock and reduce that billion-dollar import bill. But policy can't change geology. This is why India is already scaling solar and wind projects at a record pace to offset the high ash handicap. With the environmental and import costs now outpacing production gains, the transition to clean energy has moved from a green goal to a requirement for economic survival.